Work is evil. MIA. It's all right. Oh, yeah. Nothing. That was a really, really big bomb. Oh, yeah, first 20.
Yep, that doesn't count anymore, dude. You wasted it.
Mael or something? I rented.
Amael.
Yeah, I think I was gonna try and point by.
Oh, you loser.
Oh no.
No.
Should I have a character sheet?
All the fun.
Are we allowed to like roll stats and then decide with the stats which of our 8,000 characters we can use?
Ooh. Oh, so
Okay.
such a messy way.
Rad. Okay. It's Andy.
Where you be?
Andy. Does somebody need to poke him? Like, spam him? Her? Them? Does somebody need to yell at him?
Maybe.
He can take all of our Lewis rolls.
There you go. There you go, Andy. You get to be the dump set.
Yeah, I don't like uneven stats.
Or give it to me.
For the sake of OCD and not power gaming, folks, can I just leave that one on the table?
Wow.
I want to start with straight 8s.
I'm good. Show of good fate to the dice gods.
First homebrew of the game.
Yes.
Yes.
It's got my name on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
I'm gonna roll. Because
Oh,
I'm not a baby.
Where is that line of code at? Is it pinned?
Those are pretty good.
It's not terrible.
Oh, there it is. Average Joe. got it first time. Haha. Ah, the old tomato. Yes. No. All the smexiness. Ew.
It's called salsa.
There we go.
I'm going to roll.
Roll, 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 roll.
Ooh,
Two 17s.
damn. I like that.
Wow.
I'm excited about this. Okay.
What will you be? I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna go roll. You can do it. Yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. I'm gonna go for a re-roll. Gonna go for that re-roll. All right. All right. There we go.
Oh, that's better.
You heard me in the back of his screeching.
Oh yes.
All right, so now we all get to pick on him for being a square. Out the non-believer.
The non-believer.
He doesn't believe in the dice.
I think I am going to be a druid.
What kind of druid?
Good question.
Didn't get that far yet.
I'm thinking about it.
Do we need a warlock? I could be a warlock. Or a barbarian.
I've only got like a druid and a bard right now, but I can adapt. I can make somebody else. No big deal.
How about you, Lang? Yes. I would have rolled it. I would have kept it. Oh. I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm a level 1 commoner. Let's do this. Ooh.
This is a wonderful idea.
Travels the world and sells them. Ooh. Yarr. It's all right, guys. I'm a face tank. Aim right here. Right for the jaw. Nice. Ooh.
Oh no.
The shoot first cat type. Woo! Oh, we can't stay. Nice. How about them races? Ah, I take Yeah. And we breathe cool fire. It's the coolest. Auntie. Cool. Abomination. All right, I have a question. All right. So, what are the main races of where we're starting at? As in, not from the player's handbook, like of the continent we're going to start on. All the same? Cool. Okay. Any ideas, anyone? Anything you wanted to be, druid? I know you wanted to be the half-orc druid.
Well, I'm thinking of the druid. I just haven't come up with a good story or hook for this character yet.
How about
So I
you,
was
Rainbow?
thinking,
I've kind of got I've got a druid in mind, and I've also got a oh frick. What was he? What
I
was
could
she?
be a druid too.
Bard. But honestly, like I can fit in wherever. I don't really care. I can come up with somebody else. It's not a big deal.
if you're already gonna be a druid, I'm gonna be something else.
Rin, what about you?
If that's cool with everyone, my current leading idea is a tiefling wizard.
Tiefling wizard. Right.
Sounds
Hmm.
cool.
Yes.
And being hated this much, it's like a real life simulator.
I'm used to it already. Not, not emulated.
Yeah.
Oh.
So are we good
Yeah,
with the number we've got then? Okay.
How about alignment? Do you guys have an idea of what alignment you wanted to be? Do we want to be evil? How about, yeah, let's go for alignment. Look in that box. Dimbega. Only if they figure it out. Oh, snap. Rainbow, are you going to be secretly evil?
I mean, it might be.
You tell me, right?
Uh-oh.
Before you stab me.
Can't tell her. I'm not going to tell you.
I'll tell you with my knife. Yeah.
It's fine.
Boo.
Oh. That's what it means. You are lucky. What? Oh. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. I'd ask you.
All right. Hi, I'm Lang. I am from Norway. I'm 23 years old, and I produce music and sound effects for a living.
Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I've been playing D&D for probably about 3 years now. I wouldn't call myself like a D&D professional by any means, but I really find it fun, like the way that you get to tell a story through D&D. I think is really neat.
Nice.
So yeah.
All of the stories. Well, my name's Silver. I'm from Florida. We have a big old population over here. I've been playing D&D for, oh geez, like the last 15 years. It's been I can't remember the last time I didn't play D&D. What do I do? I'm a writer, so I'm currently about to finish my first published book. It's coming out in October. That'll be fun. And finishing up my bachelor's degree in psychology. That's mainly what I do. I've got kind of like a review over there. I've got a disability, so I've got ulcerative colitis. I'm open about it as well. Just most people are just like, what is that? Well, I get ulcers in my colon, and my body tries to kill me. Not all the time. And usually I'm good, but every once in a while there'll be, an upset, and I'll warn everybody in advance, be like, hey guys, I'm at the hospital. And everyone's like, oh, Silver, back in there again. I'm like, yeah, my body tried to assassinate. But it's all right. Got it. And this will be the first time, in a while, quite a few years since I've been a player. I've always been a DM for the longest time, so this will be fun. Oh, don't remind me.
That is like a real curse, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Everyone's just like, no, you must be DM. You must. Or 3 years.
Hi, my name's Ren. I am. Me and Gracie are actually. You'll probably hear us in each other's backgrounds. We're recently married, so we're in the same room with each other. We live in also kind of butt crack, South Carolina, with just us and a cat, who you could probably view in the Discord whenever you want to, because we will post plenty of pictures. We're both relatively new to the D&D as well. We've only had a brief aborted campaign experience between us each, so we're looking forward to seeing new stuff that we can bring out here, and yeah.
Cool.
That sounds like an oxymoron. Okay. I'm Rainbow or Gracie. It doesn't really matter. I'm 23, and I'm. How long have we been married? 2 months?
Cool.
What?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, something like that. I don't know.
Congrats. You made it over the hump.
I mean, I threaten to divorce him like every other day, so we'll see. I work with Kindle Direct Publishing, and I've been published twice. We have a cat, and if you ever hear me baby voicing in the background of his mic, it's because I'm talking to him. But I also have my cat. I don't baby voice my husband. He can go fuck off.
Oh.
My cat has been around longer than him. I've also had a history with depression and anxiety, so I'm totally down with all that jazz, and I am also very, very slightly inebriated right now, so I apologize. But yeah, that's about me in a nutshell.
I want the beers.
It's not beer, it's some bullshit women's Seagram's stuff.
Does it have alcohol in it?
Yep.
Good enough for me.
Yep.
So, good people? Should we be evil people? Lang, what would you like? All right,
I think
never
we
mind.
should
We're good people.
100% We're going to be evil people for sure, right?
We're gonna be good guys.
Okay, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be good. I think that's what I'm feeling as well. So oh.
Maybe next go through.
All right, Lang, what did you have in mind?
So I've been thinking a little bit more, and I have
You've got the
never played a
17s,
monk
man.
before.
Ooh.
I have never played a monk, and monk honestly sounds so much fun.
Should do it.
I think I'm gonna go for it.
Yes. Grapple monk, yeah.
Uh-huh. That's ruthless.
Woo! Aw.
Gosh.
Just knocked him out.
no! Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh my god. What?
Mic hasn't been working this whole time.
This
Oh
bitch just been
no.
completely silent.
And I was telling that good story too. Oh, don't worry. I've got an even better story regarding him later. But we'll create characters first because I know that's when everyone's here. AI, if you're listening, thanks for letting me know. I guess OBS reset it so it went to default instead of my microphone. I
Oh.
I opened up my computer the other day and fiddled with some things, so I guess it reset it. It reset my microphone. I've had this problem before. This is not the first time it's happened.
Yep, same way.
Alright, so sorry for everyone watching the stream. My mic wasn't working. I was telling all these awesome stories, but no. You basically just missed me talking about D&D. We haven't really done characters too much. So Lang mentioned he wanted to play a monk, and then I went into a big old story about a monk throwing a guy. Essentially, it was a big boss fight where this guy's in heavy plate mail guarding a bridge. The monk flipped over him, grabbed him, and tossed him over the side, and he drowned because he couldn't swim to the surface. That's really all you missed.
I once watched this one player. There was a summoning of like a dark angel above a church, and everyone's just standing around watching as because they couldn't do too much except for the monk. The monk goes right up on top of the church. And the moment that angel comes in, he just grabs him and suplexes him off the church. And he was slow falls, so he's like, "I got this, guys."
It's like, I'm
Ended it right there. There was all the cultists were like, "No!"
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, if you want to know what D&D monks are like, if you've ever seen the meme of Final Fantasy VI with Sabin suplexing the train, that's basically what that's basically what D&D monks are like. I'll post it in
suplexing
chat.
the ghost train.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's like a comic of it. It's like, dude, seriously? It's like, Bill, I'm Salmon. Let's see. Final Fantasy VI suplex train. Okay, while we're doing that, let's move on to Silver.
All right. I was thinking Warlock. I was going through Xanthars, and I haven't played the Celestial Warlock, so it's like the good version of Warlock. How's that sound?
Let me go through that. Go through Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Yeah.
All right. Open
So-
it up here on my screen.
So they essentially they get in contact with somebody on the upper planes. So either Chiron, Unicorn, other entities, Solaire,
Yeah,
and
rather
they
than,
make a pact with them instead of like a demon.
instead of like a demon or a fiend. Yeah.
So, and they start getting more like healing abilities rather than hurtful abilities. They get like cure wounds, you know.
Well, I thought I put it in my D&D folder, but I guess I didn't.
It's like a cleric and a warlock had a baby.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Xanathars, here we go. All right.
Cleric slash warlock.
A
A
Clairlock.
good warlock.
A Warlick. All right, let's see here. The Celestial. Most cantrips, Healing Light. Okay.
I'm all about the
Okay.
healings.
Bonus action. That's not overpowered.
I just point and be like, "Pew! You're healed. Pew! You're healed."
Wow, yeah, it's not even a touch spell. Oh my word. I'm gonna have to play this sometime. I usually like to play support characters. Alright, Radiant Soul. Okay. And then this expanded spell list. Okay, yeah. That looks fine. You can go ahead and play
Awesome.
a Celestial Warlock.
I'm gonna be a Dragonborn Celestial Warlock.
I still like the healing lasers.
Pew!
That's overpowered.
Like I do. Pew!
We'll see how overpowered it is when Ryukin attacks the entire party with 7 Tarrasques. Miles Tomani, please do not link images inside the chat.
All right.
Uh,
All right, Rin, how about you? What did you want to be?
salmon.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I had an idea for a tiefling divination school wizard.
Ooh. Wait, so it's like
Interesting.
cleric wizard?
No, magic is divided into like 8 different sub schools. Divination.
Oh,
is
divination.
like
That's right. Telling the future.
Telling the future, finding things, stuff like that.
That's how you've hidden it for so long. You're just like, I'll tell you future. I'm not a wizard. Shh. Just tell your future. Crystal balls.
You're going to die. No. When? In about 70 years of old age. I don't know.
3, 2. Why are you counting?
Divination wizard. Very interesting. All right. And rainbow. Right?
I was thinking of a Triton bard, like a college glamour bard, potentially. If that doesn't step on any toes already.
What does the College of Glamour do?
We're about to find out.
Yeah, I haven't completely read it, but just the synopsis that I did read before the session, it was totally her. The idea I have in mind, at least.
All right. Let's see. Bard. College of Glamour. It's not. Okay, here we go. Page 14. College of Glamour. Master of the crafts in the vibrant realm of the Feywild, and a tutor to someone who dwelled there. Satyrs damage other Fey, magic to delight and captivate others. Okay. Let's see. Remember the song of Fey magic, vigor and speed. Creatures you can see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Throwing performance. Be charmed by you. Interesting. All right, yeah, that looks fine to me.
Cool.
Rad.
A bard, wizard.
Might actually help a lot if you're going to be a Triton. That
Yeah.
Throwing performance.
Look at that! Guys, don't look at that. Don't look at that!
I hope you aren't like actually going to rely on her to be a good person because she's like gonna be a mega bitch.
I'm gonna be a mega bitch!
Let's see.
It's alright. High enough charisma, you can beat that.
Okay, you have to voice her now. You're stuck doing that. You know that, right?
Mega bitch!
Yep. That's your job now.
Hmm.
We need to get that on a soundbite.
I could probably do it later, but I'm busy running Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm.
All right. So, Lang, did you decide what race you wanted to be, or what kind of monk you wanted to be?
I was gonna do a human monk.
All right.
Humano, mom.
Yay!
What do you think? Let's see. Lang. Oh man, he's got the stats to be both a strength and a dex monk.
I know, you could be anything.
And I was thinking a Way of the Four Elements monk,
Ooh!
Way of the Four
A
Elements.
spicy one.
which has spellcasting.
We're all spellcasters.
Let's see.
We're a
See what
kooky
I did
bunch.
there?
With 4 elements. Okay.
I'll be
Yep.
right back, guys. I'm going to use the restroom. Which, again, got issues. I actually have to do that often.
It's fine. All right. You don't really become a spellcaster until 3rd, but still.
But hey,
See how it is. Campaign setting discriminates against monstrous humanoids. Just about everyone becomes one. Okay.
I like that though.
So we got characters decided. Does everyone have their stats put into their sheets?
Absolutely not.
Alright.
Because I wanted to wait to see what everybody else was doing first.
That's fine. Alright, so let's see. Silver stats. And silver is going to be a... Oh, excuse me. Alright, we'll go over how to fill out the character sheets right now. Once Rin gets back.
Why am I not here?
Oh, you're back. Okay. We're going to go over how to fill out the character sheets. And what they all mean and what it all that fun stuff. Alright, so everyone pull out your character sheets and we'll start going through it. You can either hit the show all tab or just we'll go one at a time on each of those blue buttons. Those are your tabs. So let's see. First and foremost, we will start with the core stats. That's where you will put your ability scores that you just rolled. Let's see. Lang is a monk. So let me just pull out the sheet here.
What I miss?
Okay. Is everyone here?
Silver is here.
Yeah.
All right. Does everyone have their sheet open?
Yes.
yes.
I heard 3.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's 4 now. Okay, so we're just going to start in the first tab, the core stats, and we're just going to fill it out one at a time, how Roll20 wants it. Because when you fill it all out, a lot of it's automated and it's really nice. And I didn't mean to open up Paint. Thank you. Okay, so Lang, as a monk, your most important abilities are going to be Dexterity and Wisdom for 5e. Your saving throw proficiencies are going to be Strength and Dexterity. So what that means is you'll click the Save Proficiency tick box next to Strength and Dexterity.
Yes.
Alright, perfect. Looks like you've already got all your stuff filled out right there. Okay, and then your current and max HP will be determined by your class. Okay, so let's just go one at a time. Silver. What were you playing again?
Warlock.
Warlock, okay. Stupid Discord. Okay. Warlock. I'm going to Alt-Tab between all the things here. Your primary ability will be your Charisma. Your saving throw proficiencies are Wisdom and Charisma.
Cool.
And Rin is playing... I don't know.
A wizard.
Wizard, thank you.
A lizard.
Your
A
primary
lizard
abilities are
wizard.
Intelligence, and your saving throw proficiencies are Intelligence and Wisdom. And Rainbow is playing a Bard. Your primary ability is your Charisma, so you want to put your highest stat into that. Your saving throw.
Oh yeah, Team Charisma.
Your saving throw proficiencies are Dexterity and Charisma. So you click the tick boxes on Dexterity and Charisma, and you're good. Okay. So now to determine starting HP, that's determined by your class. For Rainbow, it is 8 plus your... Oh, I should talk about modifiers. For everyone new to D&D, your strength, your scores have like a number, and then next to it has a modifier determined by how high that score is. That is calculated by subtracting 10 from your score, and then halving it, rounding down. The sheet already does it for you. So anytime I talk about your score, it's going to be that number on the left. Anytime I talk about the modifier, it's going to be the one on the right. So Rainbow, your starting HP up at hit points and speed is going to be, let's see, you're the bard, so that's 8 plus your constitution modifier, sorry. So you have a total of 8 hit points.
Okie dokie.
So you want to put current and max at 8. Okay, and Monk, Lang, yours is 8 plus your constitution modifier.
Yes. So that would be 11.
Yeah, Warlock is silver, right?
That's me.
Silver, yours is 8 plus your constitution modifier. And
I've got a
Rin,
10.
yours is 6 plus your constitution modifier.
Soft boy.
Yep. When you start out at level 1, there are a few things that can down you pretty quickly if they can hit you. You don't really start off with a lot of HP, but don't worry about it.
It's alright, Rin. I got those healing pew-pews. Pew, pew, pew.
Alright, so let's see. Triton is Eberron? No, that's not Eberron. Where did the Tritons come from?
Triton? Oh, Volos. Volos got monsters.
Volos. Okay. Okay. Find Volo's Guide to Monsters. Here we go. Let it load. Tritons. There we go. Page 115. Alright, so now we're going to talk about your size and your speed. I believe we have a Triton, a Tiefling, a human, and
Dragonborn.
a Dragonborn. Who's the Dragonborn?
Silver.
Silver. Okay, the Dragonborn Warlock. Okay, pretty sure all of those are medium creatures, and so you all have a 30-foot speed.
Oh, I guess.
So under speed, just put 30 feet.
I am 30 feet tall.
You wish.
All I have to do is lay down.
Everything else should be filled out by its own. Under the hit dice, the sorcerer wizard, just click the up arrow if you're the wizard, Rin. So just click the up arrow, put it to 1. It'll still say max 0, but we're going to change that later. Rainbow and Silver are going to do the second one for bards, warlocks, and whatnot.
Wisdom and charisma.
And what did I forget? And the monk, yeah, the monk too. So Rin uses the first one, everyone else uses the second one.
Alright.
Done.
Okay, so that's all that we need to fill out on that sheet. So now we're going to click the blue button labeled skills.
All my skills.
I don't
my skills.
think we need to do anything here yet. We're going to determine backgrounds and stuff later. Now, let's just do it now.
Backgrounds. Yeah.
Well, we should actually... Yeah, let's do this now. Might as well. Alright, so when creating a character, your character usually has a background. They don't just pop into the world and they're there. You gotta kind of figure out, you know, what was your
Except
player...
if you're a time mage.
What was your player doing before you started adventuring? So there's some backgrounds, and these are all, you know, kind of templates, so you can work off of them. But the backgrounds are acolyte, as kind of like a temple worker, as it were. There's a charlatan, who's kind of like good at scamming people, or you just kind of run the snake oil scam, or what is it? Criminal, You know, you're good at. You probably stole some things or broke into houses. You know, stuff like that. Entertainer. You went around and you know you danced or you juggled or you sang, you played a piano or whatever. Folk hero is you're kind of like the hero of a small little town. Like say, little Billy fell into the well and then you went and rescued him. The guild artisan, meaning you're kind of like you ran a bit of a business. You're good with a set of tools. You're like a mason, stonecutter, tinkerer, a weaver, calligrapher. You know, just basically your basic businessman. The hermit, meaning you lived off in a mountain or in a forest all by yourself for a while to kind of either for self-discovery or just because you don't like people. Yeah. Noble, if you were a member of the nobility, nothing really high like the prince or member of the royal council or anything, just kind of, you know, one of the higher ups. The outlander is kind of like the wilderness survival person. They don't necessarily live by themselves, but they either went off to settle a town or they're a bounty hunter or, you know, just like a tribal sort of person. Sage being kind of like the scholarly type, like a researcher. You went to learn something and through that became like a wizard or a sorcerer usually. A sailor, that's pretty it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yo ho, yo ho.
You could have been a pirate.
Yarr.
Maybe you moved goods down the uncanny canal. A soldier, pretty simple. Maybe you fought during the Age of Chaos or maybe you fought against the Untamed Wilds and the orcs and whatnot. You became so good that you became level 1 and you decided, maybe I'll go off adventuring now that your military service is over. Urchin is just basically an orphan, ran through the streets, maybe in Earthcut, maybe in that one town to the east whose name I keep forgetting, Leestead. You didn't really have any parents, or maybe you did, they just didn't take care of you. Never play an urchin in Orcus's campaigns. Usually. Right. Okay, so those are just kind of some of the basic backgrounds. Does anyone feel like they could pick out a background from those listed?
Yeah. I like that guild artisan one.
Alright.
Except I think my character will be like the son of one. And then that's like how I found my warlock, like, not ability, but I found the, I guess, way to contact the other planes. I guess I could probably stole my dad's stuff.
You could do that, or you could do Sage. It's up to you. Again, these backgrounds are just kind of templates. You don't have to adhere to them 100%.
I like that idea. Yeah.
So, Lang, what do you think you would use for a background?
I was thinking the Sage, actually.
Sage, alright.
I think it fits with the whole image of monks being very trained and, you know, adept to critical thinking and all of that. I think that fits well with the Sage background.
Alright. So on your character sheet, you'll notice there's a bunch of things that say proficient, that say no all the way down. Change Arcana and History to yes, meaning you are proficient in those.
Okay.
You're basically good at figuring out magic stuff, and you're good at knowing like the history of the area. Like, so you probably know a bit more about the Age of Chaos than, say, the normal person. You probably did a bit of research on it.
Awesome.
Also, let's see, monk. Pull out the monk here. Also, you can pick two of either acrobatics, which is basically jumping and flipping and kind of moving your body around things. Athletics, which is like running, climbing, jumping also. History, which you already have, so don't worry about that. Insight is kind of like learning about a situation by what you know, kind of understanding the world around you. Religion is knowledge of the religions and the pantheon and stuff like that. And stealth, which is how well you can hide or move silently and stuff. So choose two of either acrobatics, athletics, insight, religion, and stealth.
I'm gonna do acrobatics.
Which is awesome if you want to be a flip out monk.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna do stealth.
Also handy in D&D. Just in general. Alright, let's see. Okay. We can get to tools later. Let's just call it good there. We're doing skills right now. Alright, moving on to Silver.
That's me.
What kind of background were you thinking?
Guild artisan.
Guild artisan, okay.
Yeah.
Personality background, guild artisan. Okay, so your skill proficiencies are insight
Ooh.
and persuasion.
I
Persuasion
like the
basically
talkings.
trying to persuade someone to do what they kind of don't want to do already. But if they
What
already
if I want to persuade them to do something I want them to do?
yeah, that's what you use persuasion for.
Hey, Rain, go check out that dark area over there. Do it for me. I got your pew pew backs. Pew, pew.
We're doing it on party members doesn't work too well.
I won't do it to Rin.
Okay.
I am the soft boy.
You're also a warlock, so you also get wisdom.
It's alright, go
No,
run,
that's-
go run around those Orcus
Skills.
cultists.
Okay, so you can choose 2 from Arcana, Deception, which is basically lying or sleight of hand sort of thing, History, Intimidation, which is yelling at someone to try and get them to do what you want instead of persuading them. Investigation is more of like searching around an area or trying to uncover information. Nature, which helps you kind of figure out where you are or try and find tracks, stuff like that. And religion.
What should I pick? I know a little bit about the magics. Get me some of that arcana. And, yeah, he's not much of a liar. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. How about investigation? Yeah, I'll pick that up.
Now let's move on to Rin. What kind of background did you want to go with?
The guild merchant variety of guild artisan.
We're buddies.
Guild artisan. Okay, so your skill
I spurred to you.
skill proficiencies are insight and persuasion. And you are the wizard. So you can also choose 2 from Arcana, History, Insight, Investigation, Medicine, which is determining, what medicines to use, kind of to patch up a character a bit if they've been bleeding, and Religion.
I did Arcana and Investigation.
All right. Moving on to Rainbow. What kind of background did you want to go with?
Noble.
Noble, okay.
Yep.
So you are proficient with history and persuasion.
Mhm.
And you are a bard. So you can choose 2 of... Let's see, where is it? Oh no, you can just choose any 3.
Bards are cool like that.
Yep. So let's see, just kind of go through it. Animal handling is more like riding, trying to calm down a horse or something like that. Let's see. Perception, which no one has chosen yet, might be one of the most important skills in D&D. That's just kind of how well you see or hear things or even smell, how you perceive the world around you. Your DM highly suggests picking that for one of them because nothing will be able to hide from you, as it were. Let's see. Medicine, nature, performance might also be good as a bard because that's how well you sing or dance or whatever your chosen thing is. Sleight of hand is how to hide things with your hands, kind of just like modern day illusionists. And survival is how well you do, like surviving out in the wild when you don't have supplies. Just kind of basically using the wilds to your advantage.
Did you recommend deception or perception?
Perception.
Misheard. Perception. Okay.
Yes, you might be the only person to select it, provided Ryan doesn't. I don't know what Ryan's going to build yet. Because perception is overpowered in D&D. Basically, if you're not sure what to do in an area, the first thing players will do is a perception check. They will try and figure out, do I see something interesting, or do I smell something interesting? Okay, so that does it for skills. So go ahead and click on background. And we'll just write in what we just did. So here you can type in like your gender, how old you are, your description of your character and whatnot. So let's see, we'll start with vision. So we've got a Dragonborn, we've got a Triton, and we've got a human. So Lang, on yours for vision, you would just put normal.
Okay.
Dragonborn was silver.
That's me.
All right. Oh, excuse me. Whew. Okay, looks like. Yep, Dragonborn is normal.
Normal vision.
Triton. This is Xanathar's. Where's my Bolos? There it is. It's backseat. Here's Triton. Yeah, yes, Triton names, abilities, blah, blah, blah. Looks like you are normal as well. So Rainbow would put normal. And Tieflings, I believe, are dark vision. Yes, Tiefling. So Rin, you will put dark vision.
Boy, that's weird for 5e to be the only dark vision person.
Yeah,
We're gonna need torches.
probably. Okay, known languages. Start with the human. You can speak, read, and write common and one extra language of your choice. Let me pull up the 5e languages. No. Actually, yeah, this is the best one. Okay, so I'm just gonna put that link in the Roll20. There's a list of all the languages in 5e, and basically who speaks them. And
Okay.
Lang, what was your background again?
Sage.
Sage, okay. Not customization options. Here we go. Okay. Sages get 2 additional languages of your choice.
Okay.
So you get 4 languages. Common and 3 others.
Sweet.
Double up on
Alright.
common.
Yeah. Double common. Okay,
Special
Silver
wise,
is...
I would have picked fancy common.
Silver, were you the Dragonborn or the Tiefling?
Dragonborn.
Dragonborn.
Dargonborn.
Durganborn.
Dragonborn.
Dragonborns get common and draconic.
Awesome.
And what was your background?
I am a guild artist.
Gil Artisan, yeah. And you
Yeah,
get 1
I
more
make
of
stuff.
your choice.
Whoa.
Rin is a tiefling. Tieflings get common and infernal, and 1 extra of your choice. Rainbow is a Triton.
Alrighty.
Tritons get common and primordial,
Of course, I'll pick Celestial. That's how I learned.
and you're noble. So you get one extra language of your choice.
Brad.
Okay.
Am I allowed to ask you what language would you feel would be most usable within our campaign, or is that not allowed?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of dwarves and elves, I can tell you that. And there might be some... I think they would just speak... You would know that there would be giants. Not necessarily giants, but... Yeah, you would know there would be some giants up north in the Citadel. Rolling 2d4 to determine language. Okay. So
I'm doing height and weight.
Oh. I mean, you don't have to roll. You can just put it in. You can do it however you want. All right.
I just think it's fun.
In the background, write down, guild artisan, sage, or noble, whatever you chose. Then we'll go down the line for racial traits. All right. All right. So for Lang, that reminds me. Lang, I'm going to hijack your sheet for a second here.
All right.
18, 16, 15. Okay, so you already knew about the score. Good.
The human add plus one
to everything. Yeah. Okay.
So I went ahead.
Alright, so human racial traits. You get none because you're a human. Personality traits.
Sucker.
You determine that yourself, your ideals, your bonds, your flaws. You can determine that using the player's handbook, or you can just write it down yourself. That's up to you. But head on down to the armor proficiencies. Kind of lower down in the sheet.
Yep.
And the weapon proficiencies and whatnot. So let's see. Monk. Armor, none. Weapons, simple weapons, and short swords. So let's see, simple weapons, short swords. There you go. As for your tool proficiencies, it's 1 artisan's or 1 musical instrument for the monk.
Okay.
And your background was the sage, so you also get... Wait, was it sage? Let me take a look.
Yes.
Yes, it was. Okay. So you also get no other proficiencies. Okay.
Oh.
But that's fine.
Okay, on to Silver, the Dragonborn Warlock. Dragonborn. Okay, racial traits for the Dragonborn. Draconic Ancestry. Do you know how Draconic Ancestry works?
Yes.
Alright, what color?
I'm gonna be a gold dragon.
You're gonna be a gold dragon. Alright,
gold
so put down...
away. I should be named Silver. Hey, look at that gold dragon. What's his name again?
Silver?
It's Silver. Wow. His parents were
He's gonna play a character named Copper.
Yes, please do it.
Alright, so let's see. Okay, so you will put down breath weapon, 15-foot cone, fire damage. DC is 8 plus con modifier plus proficiency bonus.
Cool.
Half damage on save. So must complete short or long rest to recharge. Alright, and put down damage resistance fire. And I believe
yes.
that's all for that. Okay, racial. Okay, and you are a warlock. So, in your proficiencies, you're proficient in light
Mhm.
armor.
Light armor. Is it made of light?
No.
Yes.
Simple weapons and no tools.
Ah.
But we are going to check the background because there's most definitely something. Okay, proficiencies. One type of artisan's tools is what you
Cool.
get.
See what I get. Gonna roll. I am a 15. Shipwright.
Well, it makes sense
guys.
for the campaign setting.
Sweet. All right.
Moving on to Tiefling. Racial bonuses. Obviously, dark vision. So, Silver, this is for you.
Oh, I get dark vision? What?
Not you, Bart. I meant Rin.
There you go. All right.
All right, who am I looking at here?
It's perfect, Rin. You're the sneaky one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the right person. Okay, so in your racial traits, put dark vision. After that, put hellish resistance. You're resistant to fire damage. And let's see. You know the thaumaturgy cantrip.
I wanted to be one of the sub races that you
Okay.
can be with Tiefling.
What's it in? What supplement?
It's the new one, the Tomophos.
Tomophos. Oh, we don't have that yet. Sorry. I don't have
So-
it either.
No
I'm afraid I
legacy of
cannot allow it.
Minaros.
Oh.
I can't
Okay.
reference it.
Well, could I do the Sword Coast Devil's Tongue version then?
Alright, let me look that up. Sword Coast. Sword Coast Adventures. No, come on. Okay. You can do it, computer. It was called the Devil's Tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Devil's Tongue Tiefling. Alright. You know the Vicious Mockery cantrip. Once you leave 3rd level, cast Charm Person, 5th level, Enthrall, Charisma Spelling. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. You can do that if you want. Just write down. Let's see. Write down your racial traits at the top. Just Devil's Tongue variant. So I know to look at that instead of the normal Tiefling one. Okay, let's see. What else do you get? Languages. Okay, that's it. And on to Rainbow. We'll do this and then we'll take a short break. Let's see
Cool.
here. Think, brain. Brain. Bolos.
Right.
Okay. Tritons. Page 115. Tritons. Here we go. Okay. Now I forgot to go over your... I lied. Back to Rin. Rewind. Back to Rin.
Rin.
Okay.
Armor. You are proficient in light armor.
For wizards?
Oh no, I was looking at warlock.
Yeah, I don't have armor proficiency.
You don't have armor proficiencies. You're skilled in daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, and light crossbows. And you get 1 tool proficiency of your choice, artisan's tools, from your background. Okay, now on to Rainbow. Let's see. Yes. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Amphibious. You can breathe water and air.
Cool.
Ooh. That's
Control
neat.
air and water. As a child of the sea, you can call on the magic of elemental air and water. Fog clouds, starting at 3rd level. You can, okay, so you can cast Fog Cloud, and Charisma is your spellcasting ability for that spell.
Cool.
Okay.
You have Emissary of the Sea. Aquatic beasts have an extraordinary affinity with your people. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, though you have no special ability to understand them in return. Guardian of the Depths. Adapted to even the most extreme ocean depths, you have resistance to cold damage. And you ignore any of the drawbacks caused by a deep underwater environment. And from the noble background... No, let's start with Bard first. The Bard. Okay. Back to here, please. Okay, so I'm going to fill these in real quick. Control air and water. Oh, you got it. Okay.
I got you.
Proficiencies. Bard. Where is it? There it is. You are proficient in light armor. You are proficient with simple weapons, hand crossbows, long swords, rapiers, and short swords. Whoops, that's the Twitch chat. I want it in the Roll20 chat. Simple hand crossbow, rapier. What else? Long sword.
Short swords.
Short swords.
Long sword and short swords.
There you go. Those are your weapon proficiencies. You put them in the weapon.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. It doesn't call it or anything from any of the code. It's just, keep it. Tools. 3 musical instruments of your choice.
Nice. Go with the piccolo.
I'm gonna pipe
And the banjo.
And let's see, noble. Okay, from the noble background, as soon as I can find it, you are also proficient in 1 type of gaming set, and that goes under tools. So it could be a dragon chess, dice, cards, whatever.
So you'll be a gambler.
Rad, I'm into that.
Heh. Oh, sorry. I just clicked away on your thing.
I was about to say, I was like,
Sorry.
what happened?
That was my fault. So you don't have to determine those tonight. You know, go over it and whatnot. But,
I mean, if anybody else has an instrument suggestion, I'm gonna take it because I
Yeah.
really don't care.
Banjo.
lug a piano around.
All right, sold.
Tambourine.
The triangle.
No, what was the other one? It was piccolo,
the
piano,
triangle.
banjo.
Those little teeny
All right.
tiny
Word.
Like the
I don't
symbols
think
between the
banjo
fingers.
exists in D&D.
The slide flute.
The mandolin.
What did my last bard have? She had the
Kazoo!
finger.
Spoons.
Yeah, my last bard had finger symbols. That was her thing.
It's a thing. Especially in
It's a
Indian
living.
culture. Okay. I'm going to hijack Lang's character sheet. Click
Okay.
class. Yeah, we can do class later. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go get some water, go take a pee break, go pet the kitty,
Pet my cat.
whatever you want to do.
Yes. Everybody come pet my cat.
Oh.
I would love to.
Okay. I don't really have intermission music, but here's a placeholder. And I should give it the IGC logo.
Oh, yes.
Alright, 5-minute break. We'll be back at 6:50. Well, 7:50 for Eastern. I don't know what time for Lang. You know, let's just make it top of the hour. Everyone
Yay.
be back at the top of the hour. I will
Top
find
of the
some-
hour.
I will find some non-copyrighted waiting music.
Elevator music.
Yeah.
Human music. I like it.
Boop beep boop. Boop beep boop. Boop beep boop.
You can't
now-
take a break. You have to be the music
Human
presenter.
Oh, okay. And now, human music. Alright, let's see. This one's good enough.
Or you should use the Nintendo Wii Shop.
Yes.
Yeah, that's gonna get copyrighted
Yes.
so fast.
Yes.
I know, it's a shame.
Alright, I can't control the volume on that, so we'll just download it as an MP3 real quick. Have it playing in the background. Everyone go take a break.
Okay.
Okay.
Howdy.
Hello.
Me.
Alright, mute the stream. Alright, so everyone's here?
I'm back.
I know I heard Gracie.
And I'm here.
And Silver.
Alright. So Rin
Looks
had to
like
step
we
out.
lost.
Or Lang had to step out. He has the flu. So I'm honestly surprised he managed to hang around that long.
How? Oof. He's
Yeah,
got the
flu's
flu?
serious business.
Oh, the new one that's going around, it's terrible. Jeez.
Yeah, that new version of the flu, I don't really like that version. They need to just downgrade and head back to what they used to have.
Back to Windows 10.
Back to influenza version 7. Okay, let's move on. I'm gonna work with Lang during the week to get his character all finalized, because he is one of the newer players. Alright, so let's move on to the class tab. Let's see. So class feature notes. Okay, so you'll notice it has a bunch of barbarians, fighter, rogue, all that stuff. Just hover over it and tick up 1 in whatever class you are.
One level ranger.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Warlock. Yeah.
So when you get a new level, you can do what's called multi-classing. You can put a level in druid, then 5 in cleric, and then 1 in bard or whatever.
That's silly. Why would I ever do
It's a lot easier to do in 5e because there's not like
compared
it
to
doesn't
like
talk
the
a whole
last
lot
one?
about penalties and multi-classing, but your proficiency kind of doesn't grow as well. And that's basically how well you are at being a bard or a warlock or a wizard. Okay. So now we're going to go over the different class features and their notes. Let's see. Remember where I put my player's handbook? There it is. Okay. Player's handbook. Starting from the left with the warlock. Your first class feature is Otherworldly Patron.
Celestial.
First level, you struck a bargain with an otherworld being of your choice. You said you were going with Celestial.
Yeah, which one should you do?
Alright. It's going to be in Xanathar's. So let's go down there.
That is a unicorn. Alright.
You made a pact with a unicorn.
Yep.
So, class feature notes, just put down unicorn.
With a unicorn.
Back to the player's
Cool.
handbook.
Alright.
The cantrips. Let's see, you know 2 cantrips of your choice on the warlock spell list. You can fill that out
Mark.
later. Right,
What
it's
is
called
this
Pact Magic.
mark?
Okay. Pact Magic. You know 2 cantrips.
Yeah.
You know 2 spells. And you've got 1 spell slot.
That's it.
It's a first level spell slot. And at this time, you do not know any invocations. Okay.
Oh.
Your spell save DC should already be filled out in the spellbook page if you want to click on that tab. You don't have to worry too much about that side just yet. We'll worry about that later.
Cool.
Alright, so let's move on to Rin with the wizard. Alright, first class feature, spellcasting. Let's see. First level, you know 3 cantrips. And you have 2 first level spell slots. And let's see. And at first level, your spellbook contains 6 first level wizard spells of your choice. Do you know where to find all the wizard spells?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do you know how wizards cast spells, like preparing them, long rest and everything? Or should we go over that?
Yeah, I have that information in front of me.
Okay. So just a quick rundown. Wizards have to prepare your spells ahead of time. Basically, look in your spell book and figure out, I want to cast these 3 spells, and you memorize, like, let's see, how many can you do per day? Cast one of these spells. Yeah. Available for you to cast. Number of wizard spells equal to your intelligence modifier plus your wizard level. So what is that?
So 4 for me right now.
Alright, so your intelligence modifier is 3. Wizard level is 1. So you basically, at the end of every long rest, you prepare in your mind 4 wizard spells. And you've got 2 first level spell slots. So you only know first level spells right now. So let's just say you prepare Magic Missile. What else do wizards know? Let me pull it up. Spellcasting by class, wizard. So first level, let's say you prepare Charm Person, Featherfall, Jump, and Magic Missile. You just have those like ready. Since you've got 2 first level spell slots, you can cast any 2 of those, or you can cast any one of them twice. It's basically you're using up a spell slot to cast the spell that you've memorized that day. Cantrips, you can cast them, all you want. They don't take up spell slots like Acid Splash or Minor Illusion. You just cast them. So that's usually you want to pick up at least 1 damaging cantrip. So if you ever run out of like higher level spells, you can always just throw cantrips at them. It's up to you. Whoops, sorry, I kind of hijacked Rainbow Sheet again.
Can you not?
I'm sorry, I just need something to look at. I also want to make sure you're kind of looking at the right thing. Okay, I'll hijack Ryan's from now on. Okay, what other class abilities do you get? The Arcane Recovery. Okay. You have learned to regain some of your magical energy by studying your spellbook. Once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover, like those first level spell slots that you burn up when you basically cast a spell. The spell slots can have a combined level that is equal to or less than half your wizard level rounded up, and none of the slots can be 6th level or higher. So let's say you're in combat and you cast Magic Missile twice. You've used up all your spell slots for the day. So you take a rest. Your level is equal to half your wizard level. Half your wizard level is 1/2. So you round that up to 1. So you restore essentially a first level spell slot. Now let's say you get up to level 5 and you've burned away all your spell slots. At this point, you can now basically re-prepare or regain spell slots. 3, because it's 2.5 rounded up. So you can regain 3 first level spell slots or a 2nd level and a 1st level. But you can only do that once per day and only after you've rested for a short time.
Question.
Yes.
I thought the handbook said everything's supposed to be rounded down.
That is what it said. I'm glad you actually paid it. You read the first part, didn't you?
Yes.
Round and down.
Yes. And there's also a part in that says specific beats general. So yes, you are right. 95% of the time you are going to round down. This is a specific exception, meaning that the wizard can round up.
Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm actually really impressed that you managed to catch that. Yes, 95% of the time you will round down. Okay, so that, and 2nd level you will get Arcane Tradition, which means you will be part of the Divination School. But for now you don't get any bonuses. So you know 3 cantrips, you know 4 spells, 1st level, and you have 2 1st level spell slots. Now, learning spells, a first level of higher is every time you gain a wizard level, you can add 2 wizard spells of your choice from the wizard spell book. Now, obviously, if you can't cast second level spells or third level spells, you can't add those to your spell book yet. Also, the cool thing about a wizard is sometimes you will find like other people's spell books or spell scrolls, and you can copy those into your spell book. Other arcane caster classes can't do that.
Man, he was lucky.
It there is like a chance. Let's see. If you have the player's handbook, there's a little green insert on page 114 that explains how your spell book works, and the copying a spell into the book is that part you were talking about. It takes some work, but it's why the wizard is one of the most powerful arcane casters, is because they can get a buttload of spells. And you probably go ahead.
To clarify on that, do they have to be wizard spells for me to write them down, or if it's like a cleric spell on the wall, can I make it a wizard?
It has to be a wizard. It has to be in the wizard spell book, essentially. So if you go all the way at the end of the book, under the spells where it says wizard spells, it has to be one of those. And of course, some from like Xanathar's or Sword Coast. You know, any of those others. So you won't be able to cast Cure Wounds as a wizard, unfortunately. Oof. So you might not run into it in Stonecut, but in Leawick you could probably find a magic scroll shop that could sell you a magic scroll, and then you could copy it into your spell book. That's something that wizards would do. And you can use a spellcasting focus found in chapter 5. That's just kind of something that helps you cast your spells. It's more of a flavor. You need it for some spells that are like, you need a casting focus for this. You pretty much get one when you start out at level 1, so. And as for ritual casting, some spells have a tag on it that says this can be cast as a ritual. What that means is you can spend 10 minutes, light some candles, draw some circles, do some incantations.
Summon Satan.
You can take basically 10 minutes to cast the spell as a ritual, and what that does is you can cast it without using up a spell slot. So there are some spells that you can do casting as a ritual, but it takes 10 minutes, so you can't exactly do it in combat. But for divination, there's probably going to be a lot of ritual casting for divination, so that'll help you out a lot. Okay. Now we're moving on to the Bard for Rainbow.
All the bar.
Okay, the class feature. First off is spellcasting. Let's see. You know 2 cantrips, you know 4 spells, and you have 2 first level spell slots. You must pull from the Bard list of spells. Let me pull up the source reference document. This is where you can find most of them. So
Thank you.
Cantrips, they sometimes call them 0 level spells, are the ones that you can cast basically anytime you want, as long as you've got the ability, like your hands aren't tied or your mouth isn't gagged. So the Bard cantrip that attacks people is called Vicious Mockery. It's basically
your mother.
Yeah, you basically just insult someone and they take damage from the insult.
And your father smelled of elderberries.
They take psychic damage.
I was honestly gonna pick that one, 100%.
It's actually a brilliant spell. In the last campaign I ran, I can't remember if he was a bard, but he had Vicious Mockery, and he always he always said something about it, like said something with it, just kind of a flavor thing.
A flare every time, yeah.
It's like you yell at the orc, telling him his mother was dirty and smelled terribly. He looks at you and just says, "Yeah, and." Like the spell failed. If you ever want help going over some spells, I can always give you like quick rundowns on what the spells do. But for now, just let's see.
I've got it bookmarked, so.
All right. So 2 cantrips, 4 spells, and you have 2 first level spell slots. So let's see. In order for you to learn spells, you just learn spells as you level up. You can't like copy them into a spell book like a wizard. You can also do ritual casting. Some spells have that ritual tag. And you can actually use a musical instrument as your spellcasting focus.
That tambourine.
Yeah,
E.
you can do that. Okay, Bardic Inspiration. You can inspire others through stirring words or music. To do so, you use a bonus action, which we'll go over later, on how that all works. On your turn, to choose one creature other than yourself within 60 feet of you who can hear you. That creature gains 1 Bardic Inspiration die, which is a d6. And once within the next 10 minutes, that creature can roll the dice and add it to the number rolled to 1 ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. So basically a d20. Most d20s will apply. The creature can wait until after it rolls the d20 before deciding to use the Bardic Inspiration die, but must decide before the DM says whether the roll succeeds or fails. Once the Bardic Inspiration dice is rolled, it is lost, and a creature can only have 1 Bardic Inspiration dice at a time. You can use Bardic Inspiration a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. What is your Charisma modifier? So you want to click on the core stats.
2.
Alright, so put in 2 there. You can use it 2 times a day. And you regain any expended uses when you finish a long rest. Your Bardic Inspiration die changes when you reach certain levels, which I will make sure you know when you reach those said levels.
Okay.
Okay. You know 4 spells, not 2.
That's good. Thank you.
Choose 1 creature gets 1 can be used to charisma 5. Okay. Okay. All right, let's move on to spellbook. We're just gonna go over we're just gonna skip the weapons for now. If you look in the spellbook, you can already see a lot of stuff has already been kind of filled out for you. Off to the right, you can see your spell slots. I believe Wizard and Warlock and Bard. Okay, so let's see. Warlock has 1 first level spell slot. Both the Wizard and the Bard have 2 first level spell slots. So you want to change that max. And keep the used at 0. The Warlock specific, that is where you put your spell slots. You just put 1. Okay. So I'm going to start hijacking sheets here.
All the hijackings.
Alright, so let's see. I've got Dargonborn. Okay, I'm hijacking your spell slot, Silver.
Go for it.
Also hijacking Rin's. Alright, so let's start with cantrips. You've already got everything filled out, so I'm not going to worry about you.
Light!
Okay, so Wizard and Bard. Did you know what kind of... Do you know if any of those cantrips you want to use yet, Rin?
I wrote some down. Shocking Grasp, Message, and True Strike.
Alright. So let's see. if you will click on the top right, there's an eye button, a circle with an eye in it.
Wait, in the character sheet?
No, top right, roll 20. It's to the left of the gear, to the right of the chat
Alright.
button. It's that middle button with an eye around the circle. Just click
Yeah.
on that, and it should bring up a search bar. Click in there and search for Shocking, and it should come up with Shocking Grasp.
Alright.
Now click on your character sheet under cantrips in the spell book, and
Mhm.
click that add button, and it should give you a blank sort of spell thing where you can fill in
Right.
a bunch of stuff. Click and drag that Shocking Grasp on the right side into that spell slot thing, and it should turn yellow. You can release it and it'll fill out a whole bunch of stuff. This works for most of the player's handbook stuff. In order to get like Swords Coasts and Xanathars, I have to pay them money, but I'm cheap, so I don't. Did you get it to work for you?
It's not working for me. Is it because I have my character sheet popped out?
It might be. Here, let me add it in for you real quick. So I threw it in yours. Let me throw Vicious Mockery into Rainbows.
Bless.
Vicious Mockery.
Thank you.
So this is just kind of so you can see, the spell description, what it wants to do. So if you click on the description button, the green description button, or the red description button, it'll turn green. It'll tell you what the spell does. But it's not going to actually do anything if you press the cast spell button on roll 20. So what you have to do is figure out, is it an attack, is it an effect, what does it do? So since this is an attack, we're going to look in the attack thing. Let's see. Shock a creature, make a melee spell attack. Okay. Melee spell attack. So that would use your wizard, so that's intelligence. So we just drop down intelligence on the attack stat. And then we open up damage. And it's already got damage in there. So that's ready. Now that that's filled out, if I click the cast spell button, it's not going to do anything. It's because in that kind of dotted line area, there's a bunch of checkboxes. You have to click the checkboxes you want it to show. So if I want it to show an attack roll and a damage roll. Now that I've checked those, it'll be fine. So I just click cast spell, and then it rolls it out in chat for me. So it's just kind of an easy way to do spells. If you need help setting it up, I can do that for you. Like during the week. If you want to do it manually, that's fine. Yeah, except was that a cantrip?
They're cantrips.
Oh, silver. Okay, hold on. Let's see, cantrip light. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to fill out your description, which you've done. Okay, but you need to click the check mark underneath the description. You see that out kind of dotted.
That one?
Yeah, you need to check that one. And now when you cast it, it'll output the description.
Attack rolls. Oh, it doesn't have an attack roll. So then. There it is. Cool.
Alright, so don't worry too much about spells, but this is where I'm going to put them all in Roll20, because this is actually really useful to have. But just write down, like in your character sheet, probably in class, what spells you want, and I'll put them all in before the game starts next week.
Nice.
Okay, so those are spells. If you ever have any questions about spells, just let me know. They're kind of a bit of a hassle, especially if you're new. But let's see. Rainbow in you see near the top right of your sheet, there's a little column that says spell slots, level, used, and max.
Yep, yep.
You change the max on level 1, you change that to 2.
Okay.
There you go. So that means you can cast 2 first level spells every day. Or long rest, basically.
Rad. Okay.
Alright. So, Silver, for most spells, I won't ask for the description, because I don't want to just spam chat with them.
Gotcha.
So I can always look it up in your
Ta-ta, like that.
Yep, just like that. Except I think Sacred Flame is versus Dex, so you'll want to go to save instead of attack.
Go away, attack. You don't need you.
Because if you put attack in, that's versus someone's armor, and Sacred Flame is versus their dexterity. Basically, they try to dodge out of the way. Okay. Now let's move on to weapons. We'll start messing with our inventories. Silver, are you okay working with your own inventory?
I am.
All right.
It's just about almost done.
All right, we'll start with Rin, the wizard. So let's see. As a wizard, you start out with a quarterstaff or a dagger. So let's actually start with the inventory, and then we'll move to weapons. Alright, so first thing you will pick is either a quarterstaff or a dagger.
Take a dagger.
Alright. You can start with a component pouch or an arcane focus. They both work pretty much the same way. It's just kind of character flavor. You want to be a wizard with a staff, or do you want to be like got a bunch of materials in your pouch to pull out to cast the spell?
Arcane focus.
Alright. You can start with a scholar's pack or an explorer's pack, which contain different items. Let me pull up the equipment. Where are the packs? Equipment packs. Scholar's pack contains a backpack, book of lore, bottle of ink pen, 10 sheets of parchment, a little bag of sand, and a small knife. The explorer's pack contains a backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, and a water skin. It also has 50 feet of rope strapped to the side.
The explorer's pack.
Alright. On save success, you would just type in target takes no damage. Now on save success, you just put target takes no damage. That's what happens.
No damage.
What happens when they save?
No damage.
Okay, and you also get your spell book. The Guild Artisan also starts with a set of artisan's tools of your choice.
I'm the merchant variation of that.
Okay. Let's see. Personality
So
background.
I get a mule and a cart.
Guild Artisan. Guild Merchant. Okay. Start with a mule and a cart. All right. You also start with a letter of introduction from your guild, a set of traveler's clothes, and a belt pouch containing 15 gold pieces. So essentially you have 15 gold. All right. On to Rainbow. You start out with a rapier, a longsword, or any simple weapon, which I can go over if you want me to. What simple weapons are.
Is that on my sheet somewhere? I feel like it was.
No. Simple weapons are either a club, a dagger, a great club, a hand axe, a javelin, a light hammer, a mace, a quarterstaff, a sickle, or a spear. Or you can start with a rapier or longsword.
Am I being dumb? Is a quarterstaff just a short staff?
Short staff is more of like a club or a great club, but you can say you have a short staff, and we can just use the quarterstaff stats. Like, do you want to use it like two-handed, or do you want to use it one-handed?
Two-handed's fine.
All right, so we'll just call it. You can call it a short staff, but we're gonna use the quarterstaff stats. Meaning,
Okie dokie.
Mechanic-wise, we're gonna use it like that. Okay, you can also start with a diplomat's pack or an entertainer's pack. The diplomat's pack contains a small chest, 2 cases for maps and scrolls, a set of fine clothes, a bottle of ink, an ink pen, a lamp, 2 flasks of oil, 5 sheets of paper, a vial of perfume, sealing wax, and soap. The entertainer's pack includes a backpack, a bedroll, 2 costumes, 5 candles, 5 days of rations, a water skin, and a disguise kit.
I'll do entertainer.
All right. You can start with a lute or any other musical instrument. I don't know why they... Why would they write that? You can start with a lute or any other musical instrument. Why not just say any musical instrument?
I think she's gonna keep her banjo.
All right, you start with a banjo.
My favorite.
You also start with leather armor. Very nice. And a dagger.
Okie dokie.
All right, and your background was the noble. So you start with a set of fine clothes, a signet ring, a scroll of pedigree, and a purse containing 25 gold.
Okay.
All right. Look in inventory. So up near the top, you see where it says CP, SP, EP, GP.
Yeah, GP is gold.
Yeah, GP is 25. So you don't have to put that purse with 25 gold in your inventory. It's just saying how much you own.
Okay.
All right. And then down below, there's some treasure loot inventory notes. So if you wanted to put down anything, you know, you just put it down in there. Okay, as for money, 10 copper points. 10
All the
copper
coppers.
pieces is equal to 1 silver piece. 10
Wow, it does all the calculations.
10 silver pieces is equal to 1 gold piece. 5 silver pieces is equal to 1 electrum piece, which we probably won't use. And 10 gold pieces is equal to 1 platinum piece. So that is the conversion of Dungeons and Dragons coins. It is basically like the metric system. It was copper, silver, gold, and platinum, and no one really cares about electrum. But it exists.
It's such a random, like, why?
But it exists because it can.
Like pennies.
Alright, now let's go to weapons. Let's go ahead and put in your weapons, and I'll show you how that works. So let's see. I'm hijacking Ren's sheet here. Ren, you started out with a dagger, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you would put, just right at the start, in that first box, you would just put dagger. And you would put the right tab here. It is finesse. Good. Magic bonus none. In the damage dice, you would put 1d4. In the damage type, you would put piercing. And the crit damage is just 1d4. And it crits on a 20. So that's normal. Alright. Finesse, light, thrown. Okay. So down on the ranged weapons, put a dagger. Damage dice 1d4. Damage type piercing. And crit damage 1d4. And basically you would roll that to tell me that you're throwing the dagger.
Would I still do the crit damage 1d4 if I want to do the like crit deck stuff shenanigans?
Yeah, 1 second. Roll type, use default, free mode. Yeah, if you wanted to use the crit deck, just set that to 0. If you have it set to 0, that lets me know that you want to try using the crit deck. And if you want to just say, I roll for crit damage, then you can just roll for crit damage. Okay, I'm hijacking Rainbow Sheet. Had a quarterstaff and a dagger. Okay. Okay, so in the first blank under weapon, you would put short staff or just staff. I don't care.
Okay.
Your attack and the attack staff strength. Okay. Damage dice 1d6. Damage type bludgeoning. If you need to spell it, that's how it's spelled.
Bless you.
And crit damage is 1d6, or you can keep it at 0 if you wanted to do the crit deck.
Okay.
And below that, put short staff. And then parentheses, put 2h.
Okie dokie.
And for your damage dice, 1d8. Damage type bludgeoning.
That is such an ugly word. Thank you.
If you've got 2 hands free, you can basically grip the short staff with 2 hands and whack someone. But only if you got both your hands free. Okay, below that, put the dagger. And the attack stat, drop it down and select finesse. What that means is you can either use strength or dexterity to attack someone with it. It'll roll your highest. Damage dice is 1d4. And it is piercing. Alright, down in your ranged weapons, put the dagger. You will use dex. The damage dice is 1d4. And the damage type is piercing. So now if you say, oh, I want to attack someone with my short staff and I'm going to use both my hands, you would press that attack button on the right in the short staff row. There you go.
Yay! Okay.
And I need to switch that. Roll 1d20. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna make sure everyone's rolls just 1d20. It's how it is. It's set up for advantage, disadvantage, which we'll go over here in just a second. But I want to keep it at 1d20, and then just have you roll another d20 if you have advantage. No, wait, I want prompt. No, just roll 1d20. It's easier that way. Okay. Come on. Come on. Where's Jericho? Oh, there he is. Right in front of me. Roll 1d20. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on to armor.
All the armors.
One
It
of
what
the
keeps
last
you alive.
levels. Pretty much. Okay. So Lang's not here, so I don't have to worry about him. So you can buy armor to help you stay alive. That's all it is.
It's
you
what
have
keeps the bad
something-
things from touching you.
You have something called armor class. And what that is basically how well you can defend yourself. It's not like how well armored you are. It's more of value to kind of represent the abstractness of your character's ability to defend themselves. And when you've
Oh,
got
snap.
armor, that of course is easier. And when you've got high dexterity, that's easier as well because you can dodge blows and whatnot. So
Cool.
Rainbow actually starts out with leather armor. So under that first one in name, just put leather. And under base AC, you will put 11.
Can mine be black and tight?
Your armor type is light. Can you be what?
Black, tight leather armor.
I mean, you can, but it's not going to help you. Don't
Like a
have
cat
magic
suit?
spells. You do not have
Under
a
the
stealth
description
penalty.
for leather armor, I have kinky, tight black leather.
You do not have
Yes!
stealth penalty. Oh dear. You do not have a stealth penalty, and it's light enough where you don't get a penalty to move speed, so you're fine. So you'll see now that your AC of worn armor is 13. So as long as you've got your leather armor on, you have 13 AC. And 13's pretty good. 15 is really good. Once you get high up into the higher teens, the 20s, that's like dragon levels of AC.
Yes.
So 13's not bad, but it's not great. I mean, it's just leather armor. Moving on to Rin. You can buy some medium armor if you wanted. That costs 10 gold. So basically what you can buy...
I can't wear armor.
Oh, that's right. You're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Yeah, that's right. Wizards usually pick up the spell Mage Armor.
Oh, I'm gonna get that as soon as I pay too.
So let me link it real quick. Because it's basically how wizards protect themselves. There we go. And what that is your base AC becomes 13 plus your dexterity modifier. And that lasts for 8 hours. So it lasts for a long time. As long as you feel like you're going into danger, you just cast it on yourself. You use up a spell slot, but I mean, it's really handy to have. So in that first one, put name Mage Armor. And the base AC is 13. Armor type, just leave it as non-applicable. There's no stealth penalty, there's no movement.
That's
And
my armor right there.
Now you click on the Worn button to take it off because you don't have it on right now. So right now your AC is 12 because you have a dex of 2. Yes, okay. 13 plus dex modifier. Okay. Put it back on again.
You
clicking the
dirty
one button.
dude.
Yeah, that's not right. Okay, change the armor type to light. Yeah, that's better.
That's right.
Okay. Now it works properly. Okay. So just uncheck it when you don't have it on, check it when you cast it. And that's why wizards are kind of stay in the back, because they don't usually have good AC.
Welcome to the back row.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bard, you up front. Oh! Someone.
Okay, that about does it. That about does it for character creation.
Excuse me for it more.
Anyone have any questions or need help with anything about their characters at this point in time?
No.
I'm going to assume Rainbow is speaking for the group.
I think I'm fine.
Okay. Let me look for something real quick. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Okay. All right. Welcome to the training course.
What?
We don't have pictures for your characters yet, but we'll just use the default avatar. And it's music time.
If we come up with an icon, can we send it to you to use down the road?
Definitely. Just don't
Yay!
have anything right now. So I'm playing music and it's looping for some reason. I hear it twice. Why do I hear it twice?
Do you have your stream open?
Yeah, the stream's open, but it's muted. Okay, I think it's going once now. Yeah, okay. So if you look up in the top right, you'll notice a musical note button. You can click on that. And if you don't want to hear the music, you just turn it all the way down. I just kind of like to add music to the campaign because it gets a little ambiance. I'm not copying Critical Role. What are you talking about? Alright, let's go over movement and a couple of other things in D&D.
How do I just turn the volume down? Do you know?
Yeah, just top right, up at the music. See the musical note at the top right?
Yeah,
Here.
I've got that pulled up, and it says like it's tutorial loop, but
Oh, no. Let's see. I think it's... Yeah, okay, it's in the gear. My bad. You click on the gear on the top right, and near the top there's a master music volume level slider.
rad. Thank you.
There you go. Alright.
Oh snap! What's with the music?
I just told you, it's tutorial time. Alright, maggots, listen up. It's time we get you ship shape for this Dungeons & Dragons campaign. And don't worry, this is just a dream sequence, so none of it really matters. Alright, first things first, let's get started. I want you all to roll initiative. What that means is you go into your character sheet, and you go to the core stats page. And you will see off near the right, there's an initiative button. Depending on how dexterous your character is, you have a higher chance of getting an initiative. Basically, you roll a d20 add your dexterity modifier, and that is your initiative. Looks like you got some low value so far.
Super slow.
We need one more for Layla. Oh, nat 1. That sucks.
Oh no.
Alright.
Me up, wall.
Well, that's okay because apparently these dummies aren't very good at initiative either. Now you will notice that both Layla and the dummies rolled the same number for initiative. However, since the night dummies don't have a dexterity score, they will go after Layla. We will handle this entire thing as if it were rounds of combat. This will help you understand how the Dungeons & Dragons combat works. Now, could I have 1 or 2 players step up to the gray line indicated at this location? Step up to, do not cross, get back in there, dragons. Do not jump on top of the toe, what are you doing? Alright. Alright, combat is broken down into turns. Each turn lasts roughly 6 seconds. Everything happens at once, but players will take turns deciding their actions so that we can determine, basically, make order out of chaos. Since Jericho is first, you may use Okay, actually back up. During your turn, you may make a move action, an action, and a bonus action. Also, during combat, throughout one round of combat, which is every player and enemy's turn, you have 1 reaction. This will be explained later. For now, let's work on move actions. Jericho, since you are a medium creature, you have a move speed of 30 feet. During your turn of combat, you can move to the end of the gray line and stand there. Go ahead and attempt this now. Excellent. You were able to move 6 squares, which represents 30 feet of movement. You can also hold down the spacebar as you are moving your character to see how far that movement speed is. We will now end Jericho's turn and move on to Sivart. Sivart, by using the spacebar, please show me that you are moving 30 feet to the end of the gray marker. First, click and hold on your token, and then press spacebar to show the distance that you are moving. Not you, Liv.
I'm sorry. I was trying to help.
Why is it not working?
Let me make sure you've got...
It's not doing it.
I think I know why. Give me a second. Edit. Player's journals can be edited controlled by silver.
Aha. I can click on it.
Can you click and drag it?
I can click it and drag it. Say like here.
Okay, so click it and drag it and then press spacebar.
Aha.
And that'll show you how far you're moving. Alright. Stop moving. Head back to the end of the gray area. You can only move 30 feet per turn. Layla. Alright. Since you started behind everyone, you will not be able to make it to the end of the gray area. To indicate this, click and hold on your token, press spacebar to bring up the ruler, and then press it again, and you can add waypoints, essentially showing the DM how your character moves across the field. Go ahead and move 30 feet, and then end your turn. I will demonstrate. Excellent work.
I'm sorry.
No, you did it. That's fine. Alright. Move back to the checkered area and we will begin the next portion. Step up to the sand pit.
Where is the sand pit?
The sand pit
The
is
big-
indicated right here, as by the ping on the map. This sand pit indicates rough terrain, meaning that you will have to spend twice as much of your movement speed in order to move through it. That means that you can only go 15 feet from the edge of the sand pit into the middle of the sand pit. When moving through difficult terrain, you can only move half your movement speed. So 5 feet through difficult terrain will count as 10 feet of your movement.
Ah, it's so sandy. It's getting in. Oh, dude.
Usually this will be indicated by a red triangle in certain areas. If not, the DM will inform you that it is difficult terrain. Alright, let's move on to the climbing wall. Alright, this climbing wall is actually pretty easy to climb, but you will notice that the DM has indicated that it is 15 feet tall. This is perfect, because you can only move at half your movement speed while climbing. In order to climb up 5 feet, you will need to use 10 feet of your movement. However, it's not that simple. You will have to roll an athletics check in order to get up there. If you think you can run your way up, or can flip up there, you can roll acrobatics instead. However, most of the time, you will roll athletics. Jericho, roll athletics to try and get on top of this wall. Excellent work. You managed to fall down and hurt yourself. Let's move on to Sivart. Why don't you give it a try?
Sir, yes, sir.
So, in your character sheet... in your character sheet...
There we go.
Excellent work. You managed to jump off the handholds in an acrobatic manner and make it to the top of the 15-foot tower. Layla, I am going to drag you over here so you can have a try. Try and climb up the wall by rolling an athletics or an acrobatics check.
How to move out of the way?
Excellent.
Whoa. I'll eat my dust.
Most ability checks will have a DC, or difficulty class, that you need to pass. Since there were handholds and it was a fairly easy climb, the DC of this was only 5. Rin did not pass, and therefore fell to the ground. Probably slipped on something. The DM will narrate your successes or failures. Jericho, please use the ladder provided on the north side of this tower to get up to the top. Ability checks are only used when there is a possibility of failure. Doing something easy, such as climbing a ladder, some steps, or jumping over a small puddle of water, will not require ability checks. However, if the ladder is wet, or someone is shooting at you, there may be ability checks required. Remember, they are only used if there is a possibility of failure. Now, you will notice that there is an arrow pointing towards the east on this next part. That is to indicate that this is an incline going down. Wait, I did it wrong.
A decline?
Yeah, hold on. The GM, however, is an idiot and used the arrow incorrectly. Allow him a second to flip it. I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, there we go.
Quite alright.
There we go. It's going up. There we go. The arrow indicates that this ramp is going up towards you. Therefore, if you are moving to the east, you are going down the ramp. Since you are 15 feet up, and it is going across 15 feet, it is not a very steep ramp, but you should be careful on it. Don't try running down a 45-degree angle incline, kids. Go ahead and head down at the end of the ramp. The DM has indicated that there is no difficulty bonus, so you can just go ahead and say that your character is doing it. Here you will see that there is a depth meter because it is below the object, as opposed to inside the object, as stated earlier. There may not be indications such as these in the real game, but this is just to help you. This is a pit that is 5 feet deep and 5 feet across. It will require either an athletics check. It will require an athletics check to jump across, or an acrobatics check to flip across. You may take your pick.
Wish me luck.
Attempt to jump across now. So both Rin and Silver have managed to make it across the gap, as well as Rainbow. Again, this was not a very difficult challenge. However,
Whoa!
I'll still suck.
you will notice that this pit is 10 feet deep and 10 feet across.
Whoa!
In order to cross this one, it is advised that you get a running start. This will require at least 10 feet, or 2 squares, before jumping. This will require athletics or acrobatics, and since you are running, you will get something called advantage, meaning that you can roll 2 d20s and take the higher result. Jericho, go ahead and roll athletics or acrobatics with advantage.
Do I just press it twice, or is there a better way to do it?
You can press it twice for right now. We can set it up for, let's see, you're Jericho, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So as you will notice, you rolled a 5 and then a 20. Since you have advantage, you were able to clear the gap with the 20. If you have disadvantage, we would have taken the 5, because it was the lower result. Sivart, you may attempt to cross the gap with either athletics or acrobatics, or simply move on to the next exercise.
I'm gonna try it.
Excellent work. You too managed to cross the gap in the same manner that Jericho did.
Stop copying me.
Long jump!
Later,
Dragon
you may
jump.
attempt to cross the gap or move on to the next exercise.
Oh my god.
Still fucking.
Rainbow managed to cross the gap with ease. Natural 20s do not necessarily guarantee success, and natural 1s do not necessarily guarantee failure when it comes to skill checks. However, if you were to roll a 20 in combat, that means an automatic success, and a 1 indicates an automatic failure.
Can we go out and buy a lottery card tonight?
No.
Yes!
If lottery cards had a 5% chance of winning, everyone would win. Alright.
Not with those numbers, you won't.
Jericho, please approach the door to my southwest. If you were to use perception, you would be able to know that this is a wooden door, but it is also locked. You may attempt to break down the door, or try to attempt to pick the lock if you had that ability. Since there does not seem to be a rogue in your party, you may attempt to pick the lock, or you may attempt to break it down. To do this,
Ruin it.
simply roll a strength check or an athletics check to run up and bash the door. You may also use your weapons to break down doors if you so choose.
You can do it!
A 7.
Ugh.
You managed to break down the door. Good job. It wasn't held in place very well. It was just being used to teach you.
It was plyboard!
Everyone please move on to the next area. Here we see a stone door. It doesn't seem to be locked, but you can't break it down. Go ahead and open it. Nothing bad will ever happen. I promise.
I want to open it
As you open the door, a net falls on top of you.
Sucker.
up.
Some doors and areas may have traps. This was only a net. Go ahead and shut the door behind you and come back.
I'll close the door.
And as you close the door, he's narrating this as it happens. As you close the door, a rope pulls the net back up into the ceiling. Now, you may use perception on any doors or hallways that you think may have a trap. Go ahead and attempt to spot this trap using a perception check. Oh my word. Rainbow, please save them.
I'm going! It took me a minute.
Unfortunately, both Silver and Rin did not see the trap, but Rainbow was able to point it out. Rainbow, now that you know the trap is there, you may be able to disable it using a... Check, was it?
Sleight of hand.
It's normally thieves' tools.
Well, yeah, thieves' tools give you advantage. I mean, thieves' tools will give you advantage on certain checks, but you will almost always need to use a sleight of hand check to disable said traps. Rainbow, since you found the trap, go ahead and try the sleight of hand. Excellent! The DC for this sleight of hand disabled was 15. Since you rolled a 15, that means that you won. Attackers usually win against defenders when it comes to ties. Since you have disabled the trap, please move through the door onto the next area. Alright, please grab one of the many weapons we have stored away at this convenient location being pinged on the map.
Ooh.
Now we can use these weapons to attack the target in front of you. This will take an action. Instead of moving, you will need to use your action to attack the target. Jericho, since it is your turn, use your action to attack the knight dummy. Excellent! You just attacked thin air. Oh, it was a ranged attack. Good work on using that ranged attack. However, this is the melee attack version. Let's try moving towards the knight dummy and attacking it with melee first. Excellent! You managed to do a critical hit and destroy the dummy. Now we'll have to replace that dummy later. And look at that! The dummy now has a red X over it, indicating that it is dead or unconscious. Let's move on to the next area. Step up to the gray line. If you measure this gray line, you will notice that it is 60 feet across. You can use your action in combat to use the dash action. What this means is that your move speed doubles for the duration of your turn. Use the dash action, and then use your move action to move 60 feet. Jericho. And now Sivart.
Gonna run it!
Layla, since they are both taking up the 60 feet, you can move 55 feet. You don't have to use up all your movement on your turn. He's basically saying move down here.
I'm trying to.
Can you click it and drag it? You gotta make sure you're on select move and not ruler. It's a bit unwieldy. Excellent work. By dashing, you can use it to run away from a foe, or catch up to one that is fleeing the scene. But remember, if you use the dash action, you cannot attack on the same turn. Yeah. Excellent. Now let's move on to attacks of opportunity. These are very dangerous in combat, and you should be aware of your target's ability to attack. Jericho, please move inside the knight's range of the threat range, indicated by the red squares. You are now within the knight dummy's threat range. You may use any of your movement to move around this knight dummy's threat range, but as long as you move out of that range, it will attack you. Go ahead and move out of the knight dummy's threat range by stepping to the north 5 feet.
Still do it.
The knight dummy attacks you and it connects. And he does 1 damage. So as you can see, it would be very bad for you to simply move to the south if you absolutely needed to get there. We will use something called the disengage action. By using your action on your turn, you may move to a location without provoking an attack of opportunity. This is basically you making sure to not let yourself stay open in combat. Go ahead and move to the south using your movement and using the disengage action. By telling the DM, I use the disengage action.
I use the disengage action.
Excellent! You have moved 30 feet without provoking an attack of opportunity. Now, Jericho, the archer dummy wishes to move inside your threat range. Since he has moved inside your threat range and then moved out, you are allowed an attack of opportunity. You may only do this if you still have your reaction during the round of combat. Go ahead and make an attack on the target for free. Excellent. You have stabbed the dummy for 3 damage. Let's move on to the next area. Now you see this dummy kind of just shaking back and forth, just like. Alright, line up behind the fence and prepare for the ranged attack portion of the training course. Behind the fence. In the gray area. In the gray area. Thank you.
Excuse me.
You can also use ranged attacks to attack your targets. This gets much harder when they get up close next to you, but we'll go over that later. You may use spells, or you may use attacks. If you have a bow, or a thrown weapon. Sivart, what do you have?
Sir.
Your silver...
I have a dagger, sir.
What spells do you have? You got the Sacred Light. Now let's do that. For example, you could use the Sacred Light cantrip to do damage to either of these 3 targets. One of them has a higher dex than the others. It will be up to you to try and determine which of those it is. Attack the Knight dummy, the Archer dummy, or the Mage dummy using the Sacred Light cantrip.
I want to cast Sacred Light on the Mage dummy. I think it's Sacred Flame, but yes.
Alright. The Mage dummy will now attempt to use its dexterity to save against Sacred Flame and dodge. Since it had 0 dexterity, it didn't have much of a bonus. You hit it with your Sacred Flame and you did 3 radiant damage. Excellent work.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, some targets are easier to hit with spells, some are easier to hit with physical attacks. Some are easier to hit if they've got different types of saves. It'll be up to you to determine which enemy is weak against what. You will have to use your head. The DM won't tell you outright. Alright, let's move on to the next area. We'll go with Layla. Let's talk about grappling and shoving. Layla, please stand up next to the Knight or the Archer dummy. Take your pick. Now, if you want to grapple your foe and potentially pin them down, you will want to roll an athletics skill. This will be opposed by the enemy's either athletics or acrobatics, an attempt to push you away or get out of the grapple.
Oh no, should I have been rolling through the core and not the skills before?
No, you roll athletics. How D&D 5e works is everything is a strength, a dex, a con, an int, a whiz, or charisma. It's all based on those 6 ability scores. And athletics is basically saying, hey, use strength. And if you're proficient in athletics, then that means you get a bonus to it. So just roll from the skills, it's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry, I confused myself.
No, yeah, you're doing fine. Alright, now the archer will attempt to get out by dodging. Unfortunately, he did not dodge, and you have successfully grappled the archer. On your next turn, this will use the action, so you will not be able to get another attack. However, if you still have move speed left, you can drag the archer using the your remaining move speed. This will take up twice as much move speed as normal, as if you were moving through difficult terrain. The archer will now attempt, on his turn, to get out using his acrobatics. He managed to get out of the grapple. Don't worry, that happens.
Grab him again!
Alright, Jericho, please stand up to the Knight dummy. You may use your action to shove the target. By shoving the target, you may move it, I believe, 10 feet. I should have had the combat thing open this whole time. But the DM is a dumb. Hybrid research. Where's the grapple? There it is. Shoving. Alright. You may shove a target away from you by 5 feet, or you may knock it prone by using the shove action. The shove action works exactly like the grapple action, except with different results. Attempt to shove the knight by using an athletics check. The knight will now attempt to resist your shove, using its strength modifier. Unfortunately, you are unable to shove the knight. If you were successful, you would be able to pick to shove it 5 feet, or knock it prone. This may be helpful for knocking targets off a cliff or into danger, or out of danger. Up to you. Let's move on to the next area. Alright, I have 3 spaces indicated here. Please step in either of the spaces. Jericho is standing out in the open, and therefore has no cover from ranged attacks. The archer dummy will now make an attack at you. 18 versus your AC. The dummy managed to fire an arrow at you and did 1 damage. Since you weren't in cover, you didn't really have much of a choice.
Jericho gets beat up so much.
Sivart is behind half cover. This means that you have a +2 bonus to your AC from ranged attacks. It attempted with 5, so it didn't really get too hard. It didn't really have much of a chance.
Good thing I had this. Good thing I had this slightly tall.
Don't worry, I'll heal you in the next area. Layla is behind 3/4 cover, meaning a fourth of her body can be seen. A head, an arm, a leg. This means that you will have +5 AC versus ranged attacks. Again, the archer dummy isn't very good at attacking.
Unless your name is Jericho.
Yeah, apparently. So if you need to hide from ranged attacks, try and get some cover.
Jericho,
Cover does not help you versus melee attacks.
I don't think that shirt with a target on it was good for today.
Jericho, another thing you could do is drop prone in order to impose disadvantage on the ranged attack. However, be warned, if you drop prone, melee attacks will get an advantage. Go ahead and try and go prone now by saying, "I go prone."
I hit the floor.
Jericho, you now have a shoe icon on your head, on your token, meaning that you are prone. At the start of your turn or any point during your turn, you may use half of your total movement. For you, that would be 15 feet, in order to stand up. Just tell the DM, "Hey, I want to stand up."
The body.
The body's on the floor. Prone is useful for dodging ranged attacks, but not very useful in melee combat, so be aware. Let's move on to the next section. Down below, you will see the various sizes of knight dummies. We have the medium-sized dummy, the smaller, tiny-sized dummy,
It's so adorable.
and the large-sized dummy. And then it says, creatures can get even larger or even smaller than this. Just know your sizes, because it affects some abilities, some spells, and etc. Also be warned that certain creatures may have larger threatened squares than others, regardless of size. Size does not determine threatened areas. Let's move on to the next section. Sivart, please grab from this potion rack an alchemist's fire.
Ooh, I'll grab an alchemist fire.
We will now go over readying an action. You may use your action on your turn to ready an action. Basically what this means is you will wait for a certain set of conditions and then take your turn. For example, a lot of times players will ready their action to shoot at someone that's coming through a door. These must be simple. They cannot be, I wait for the sun to align with the planets and the stars for the temperature to be just right, and then I flip over, etc., etc. Now, we will wait for the mage dummy to cast grease on the knight dummy, and then we will throw the alchemist fire on it. Tell the DM that you will ready your action for such an attempt.
I would like to ready an action to use alchemist fire when there's grease on the knight dummy.
Excellent. As soon as the mage dummy casts grease on the knight dummy, no, it's not a. Okay, let's see. So let's do this. The DM will either say the mage dummy casts grease on the knight dummy. When that happens, your character automatically triggers their readied action. You do not have to say anything, it simply happens. The knight is greased. You throw the alchemist fire at the knight. It takes 1d4 damage from the alchemist fire, plus an extra d6 from catching on fire from the grease. Excellent work! Let's move on to the next section. Here you will see a certain number of objects. We have a lever, a table full of scrolls, and a pile of rubble. You may use your action on your turn to interact with certain objects. Jericho, use your action to pull the lever, search through the pile of scrolls, or search through the rubble.
I pull the lever.
Excellent. You pull the lever. Unfortunately, nothing happens. This is just a training course after all. Sivart, please use your action on your turn to search through the scrolls or search through the rubble.
I want to use my action to search through
Search what?
the scrolls.
Alright. You search through the scrolls. You will need to use an investigation check to search through the scrolls for what you're looking for. Excellent work. You have used your action to search through scrolls, and you have found the scroll you are looking for. It is the one that says you win on it. Layla, please use your action on your turn to search through the rubble.
I'm going to search through the rubble.
Alright, please roll a perception check to search through the rubble. Excellent work. You have found inside the rubble the stone that says you win. Certain objects, on your turn, do not need to be interacted with an action command. For example, pulling out a sword during your attack, or pulling out a sword on your attack from a sheath that you already have at your side will not count as an action. However, searching your pack for a potion and then drinking said potion will require the use an object action. If you already have the potion in your hand, it will still require an action to drink said potion. Let's move on to the next area. Here we will go over damage, vulnerabilities, and resistances. On this cabinet of potions, you will find variants of the alchemist's fire. We have acid, cold, fire, force, lightning, necrotic, poison, radiant, psychic, and thunder. The archer dummy will take normal damage, the knight dummy has damage resistance, and the mage dummy had damage vulnerability. Go ahead. Jericho, go ahead and pick out a vial or a weapon from the rack to the right.
I'll get a vial of necrotic fire.
Alright. Go ahead and throw the vial at one of the 3 dummies.
I throw it at the knight.
The knight takes 1d4 necrotic damage with resistance. I rolled a 1. That means that the knight will take half damage, rounded down, meaning the knight takes no damage. Sivart, take a vial or a weapon from the rack, and throw it at either the archer or the mage.
I would like to take a dagger from the rack and throw it at the archer.
Alright. You throw a dagger at the archer and you hit it for 1d4 piercing damage. Since the archer has no resistances or vulnerabilities, it only takes 3 damage. Layla, take a vial or a weapon and throw it at the mage dummy.
I take a lightning vial and throw it at the mage dummy.
The mage takes 1d4 lightning damage. Since he has damage vulnerability to lightning, that comes to 4 lightning damage. Since some of you have fire resistance, if I were to throw a vial of fire at you, you would take half damage. However, we won't do that.
I would probably die.
I'm resistant!
Alright, let's move on to the next area. Uh-oh, this is a token. Clear map. There we go. Let's move on to the next area. I require a volunteer.
Sup,
I
me.
volunteer.
Oh.
I heard Jericho's name. Jericho, please come closer. Not that close. Jericho, how much HP do you have?
4.
Then I will stab you with this short sword, and you take 4 damage.
I did.
Jericho is now unconscious. Don't worry, he's not dead. We will wait for him to bleed out a bit so we can demonstrate how death saving throws work. After a turn of combat, it is now back to Jericho's turn. Since Jericho has not restored any hit points from potions or magical spells, he will have to roll a death saving throw. In your character sheets, under core stats, you will notice
Jericho!
you will notice down near the bottom a death saving throw button. Press that button now, Jericho. Jericho has rolled a 17, which is a 10 or higher. That means he gets 1 success. You can click the success button to show you that you have already got 1 success. If you get 3 successes, you will stabilize and no longer bleed out. If you get 3 failures, you will die. If at any point you recover hit points via magical spell or an item, you will no longer have to make death saving throws, but you will be prone on the ground. But you will be conscious. However, if you fail 3 times, your character will die. If at any point you take damage while you are bleeding out, you will automatically suffer 1 failure. If at any time you take a critical hit while you are bleeding out, you will suffer 2 failures. And if you were ever to take damage equal to your maximum hit points after reaching 0, you will die. Silver, please take... Not you, Silver. Sivart, please take a healing potion from this rack.
I'll move over and take a healing potion.
Please feed it to Jericho, using your action.
I'd like to administer a healing potion to Jericho.
We'll
You have
feed it to
administered a
him.
healing potion to Jericho. Roll 1d4 plus 1 to determine how many hit points he receives. Jericho receives 4 hit points and is no longer bleeding out. The red X will disappear. Chokes on the liquid and drowns in set. Roll new character.
I feel like such a bully.
Jericho is now at 4 hit points. If I were to stab him now again and do 6 hit points, he would simply drop to 0. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, we do not calculate negative hit points. We simply keep track of death throws, savings, and failures. Please move on to the next area. Whoops, that's also part of the map.
Woo!
Excellent work! You have completed the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition combat training area. If you have any questions, please let me know at this point, and we will discuss them.
Sarge, I have one question.
What is it, Maggot?
If I'm hit with the meteor, will that outright kill me?
If you what?
Are there things that can outright kill me?
There are most definitely things that can outright kill you. There are things that can turn you to stone, take over your mind, petrify you. There are also things that can poison you, mummify you, and absolutely devastate your entire town. However, you probably won't have to worry about these things until at least level 5. Hopefully. Remember to never piss off the DM.
I'm scared.
Are there
I
any
think we're
other
doing
questions?
okay so far.
Think we're good.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Please leave a 5-star review on Amazon.com for the Sergeant Combat Training Dream. This is
Well, what's
all
that again?
just a
Sergeant?
dream. This is all just a dream. This is all just a dream. Just a dream. Where is it? I want this one. Let's do this
Where's
one.
Fade Out?
This is all just a dream.
Ah, there we go.
I'm hearing it twice. Stop! I don't want to hear it twice.
Who was just like teabagging?
Why? Why is it playing twice?
I saw that.
Why is it
Why were you teabagging him?
Jericho.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why it plays twice. No, it's probably that version. I don't know why it's playing twice. Let's get a better victory theme here. Now, you know what?
We.
You know what? I'll just open up my soundboard. We'll just do it like this. I'll open up my soundboard and make sure it's not going to double stream on properties. Make sure it's not going to. Okay.
Oh,
There we
that's
go.
awful.
There you go. You won. You beat the tutorial. So that's basically how combat works. That's all the basics. And if we run into something we haven't covered, I mean, we'll go over it. You can always ask me, is this going to take an action? And I forgot to talk about the action economy.
What about the help ally?
Yeah, the help ally we didn't cover either. I thought I had a place for that. Oh, I was going to do it during melee combat.
And offhand attacks. Those
You
are
can
always
use your
good.
action during your turn to, instead of attack something, to help your ally, which is basically you distract the enemy, and that gives your ally advantage on their next attack. But you have to determine, I want to help Rin, or I want to help Silver, or I want to help Ryan. It's like I want to help him make the attack. So you can also do that from ranged, so you don't have to do it in melee. But you have to have a ranged weapon to do it.
Oh, gotcha. So it's like distracting them. Like cover
Yeah.
fire!
Pretty much. We won't be using flanking for 5e, the flanking rule. So don't worry about that.
Nope. How about weight?
I'm not too worried about weight
So
until it
don't
starts
use the
getting to.
encumbered one. So just don't go overweight.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm not too worried about weight. I never really use it in my games until it comes to like heavy objects that you have to
I
carry
want to
around.
carry that elephant.
What's your strength score again? 7? The elephant crushes you.
10! Elephant butt.
Alright. I believe that is everything that I wanted to go over.
Cool.
Does anyone have any
I like the training.
questions about the character,
I like
about the game?
I like Sarge. He's the best dream sequence ever.
Lick my balls.
Whoops. Let me turn that
What?
off. My soundboard. It has this tendency to, like, I use like Control and Alt and button presses, and it has a tendency to make Windows think that the button is still held down. So I'll be typing and you'll just hear like woo, making my way down, just like all these sounds, and I'll just be like, oops.
Nice.
So I'm looking at my friend's Discord where I hang out with all my friends, and this one guy's like, okay, I'm hiring Ryu to voice any and all future tutorial sections I make. Oh boy.
Nice.
What have I gotten myself into?
All right. I have a question now with my guy
Yeah, what's up?
for the celestial or what's it called? Just the warlocks. They have their packs. They have these new things like attitudes, special terms, and binding marks. Sitting there reading through them, and one of the binding marks is some patrons make a habit of it and often enjoy marking the warlocks under the sway in some fashion. The binding mark makes it clear to those who know about such things that the individual in question is bound to the patron's service. A warlock might take advantage of such a mark, claiming it as proof of one's pact, or might want to keep it under wraps, if possible, to avoid difficulties it might bring. Well, some of the ones given here are just like, one of your eyes looks the same as one of your patron's eyes. Each time you wake up, a small blemish on your face appears in a different place. You display outward symptoms of a disease, but suffer no ill effects from it. Your tongue is an unnatural color. You have a bestial tail. Your nose glows in the dark. Those are like example
Nose
ones.
glows in the dark.
Can I have it so where mine gave me a unicorn?
You want a
Yes.
unicorn? Do you want like the tiefling horns and the
Just
unicorn horn? Or
whoop
just
right
the
out of the head.
unicorn horn? Am I muted? I'm muted.
Have to wear fancy
I
hats.
had Discord muted. I'm sorry. Did you want it as like just the unicorn horn, or the tiefling horns and the unicorn horn?
No, just the unicorn horn. That's
Just
it.
the unicorn
Just
horn. Okay.
like,
He's the dragonborn.
Okay.
I'm a
that's
dragonborn.
right. Rin is the tiefling. So
Yeah.
instead of the normal dragon horns, you have just the unicorn horn.
Oh, I didn't have dragon horns in the first place. I just had skin.
Okay. Your homework is to go look up Ninja Sex Party's unicorn wizard.
Yes.
Even though you're a warlock, still. Go look that up later. If you guys have any other questions about the campaign or about your characters, just let me know over the week. Ryan's going to be getting back here in about 30 minutes, so I'll go over his character with him, and I'll let you know how that goes. He's
Cool.
well-versed in D&D. Silver, you were the one that knows him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's it called? He had messaged me about the same thing. He's like, I gotta go to work. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. So.
All right, so I'll go over with him that later, but if there's nothing else you guys want to discuss or talk about, that'll be the end of the session.
Cool. All right, that was fun.
So let's see, we got a Dragonborn, a Tiefling, and a Triton. Depending on what Ryan makes, which I think he talked to me about it, we might start off in Leestead, but I think we'll be okay starting off in Earthcut, because I did have something in mind in case everyone went monstrous races. Oh my word.
Just in case.
Just
Don't
in
worry, we're all
case.
magic users.
Lang, you know what Lang is going to be? He's going to be your parole officer. That's what he's going to be. He's going to be the one that
Yes.
keeps his track on all you guys, make sure you're not doing anything.
Get still too magic, not out in the open.
Yeah, okay. That's about everything. Thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for taking the time to create characters and talk about it together. And looking forward to the campaign.
Yeah, thank you for all this. Same here.
Thank you.
Successful
Thank you, everyone.
Game
Thanks for watching.
Zero.
We're going to end the stream. I'm going to go watch the storm. Thank you all for watching.
You stay safe.
And playing, and take care.